Hey everybody, I'm Mama Baird and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be doing some more food bank stories. I was super thrilled at all the stories that you guys sent me last time. I really appreciate you trusting your story with me and letting me be able to share that with other people to let them know that they are not alone in going to the food bank, or some people just don't understand what would prompt someone to even consider going to a food bank. So I think hearing other people's the cats are here with me. I think hearing other people's stories on why they went, maybe how it helped them, or if your struggles, hey, hold that. I got a new chair for my friend, and now the cats are already claiming it. They didn't know that food banks are available to them as well, or maybe you don't have good luck at your food bank and you've gotten spoiled food or not enough food to help with your family. Any kind of story that would be relevant, or maybe even beyond that, and any kind of food insecurity story, or maybe any kind of food stamps or EBT story, anything like that where maybe you've gotten shamed for needing help. So I'm just here to kind of spread everybody's story and let you know that you're not alone in the world, and that hard times are coming if they're not already here for you. And I want us to be able to lean on each other. So I'm going to read a couple of stories that you guys have submitted. If you have a story for me that you would like to submit, please email me at mamabairdspantry@gmail.com. Make sure you put in the subtext that it's a food bank story. I'm not going to read it at that time. I'm just going to put it aside, but I will let you know that I got the email and I want to react to them live as I read them out loud for you guys. So that's kind of my plan. If you have a story you'd like to share, please let me know. Other than that, let's get into the stories. But before we do, if you're new here, I'm Carolina. I would love for you to like this video, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Come join our YouTube family. We have a lot of fun around here, and I know that it's just the YouTube channel you've been looking for. So let's get into these stories and let's see what you guys have to say. So this is story number 1, and this is from Jennifer. Hello there. I found your channel looking for ways to save and stretch meals. As of October 2022, I lost my job due to illness. I have filed for disability, but it takes about a year to get it in our state. So we are down to one income family, and our health insurance had to come out of my husband's check, which cost us $700 every 2 weeks. Wow, that's a lot. So we were barely sliding by to just stay afloat and pay our mortgage and bills. I already knew that we don't qualify for food stamps. They say you can't have a mortgage here and only make less than $22,000 a year, which our income is more than that. But they didn't care to look and see we are barely left with anything after paying our mortgage and bills. I have been watching you, and I heard you say that if you just need a little bit of food, to try the local food bank. So we live in a very small town, about 160 people. I checked around, nothing here. But the town over has one and lets our town come. Yay! So I went to the first time and I was card number 120. Wow. I was shocked. I thought, oh no, I'm here an hour early and they'll have nothing left. But actually, it was a big rig truck filled with pallets. They were unloading, and each car popped to their trunk and they filled it up. I had gotten a case of beef livers. We laughed about that. It's not our thing, but I did pass it on and bless others. Influencer mode. I have a video where I tried a beef liver live. I can link it below if you're interested in watching. But oh my gosh, I don't blame you. That's quite a face I make when I tried it. But I also got chicken thighs, ground turkey, lunch meat from the deli, lots of sweets like a whole cake, cookies, breads, lots of French bread, 10-pound can of baked beans, a number 10 can of sweet potatoes. Those I plan to open and re-can. Ooh, that would be good to save those for Thanksgiving too. If you do like a sweet potato casserole on Thanksgiving, that would be good to knock out that number 10 can. But everything has helped my family out and something I haven't had to buy, helping me stretch my money. I go every 2 weeks, but you can go once a week if you want. Again, thank you for your support and telling folks it's okay to get the help. They are all really nice, and I tell them thank you. They say no thank you for saving this food. Jennifer. Aw, thank you for sharing that story, Jennifer. Yeah, like people think that they're taken from others who need it more, but they're like, no, please, this is food that would go to waste, or this food is for you guys to help out. So thank you for sharing that you needed it and that you felt like, well, I'm just going to go and give it a try. And I'm glad you did. And I'm glad it's there to help you. That's what it's there for. So thank you so much for sharing your story. That was great. What a nice, positive, uplifting story, that how much it has helped. All right, story number 2. Hold on, coffee break. This car rocks and spins. This chair rocks and spins, and it has a footer upper thing. Oh, it's nice. My friend is moving, so I am reaping the rewards of that, but I have to help her move, so that's fun. All right, next one is from Cindy. Hi, Carolina. I just love watching your lives and videos, Carolina. Such inspiring stories. I was in the same position several years ago. A good friend convinced me to visit our local food bank. I was nervous and shy at first because I was used to donating to those in need, not being the one in need. After I was put on permanent disability, I was in a struggle with rent, bills, medication, and such for me and my husband. The first time I went, everybody was so nice and no judging me. After that experience, I began volunteering at this food bank, and I loved it. I've been volunteering at our food bank for over 5 years now. Awesome! I love all the volunteers because we all have the same mission. Our food bank used to run every 2 weeks, and when COVID hit, it went to once a month visits. Not only do we have our regular people coming in, we also have so many new guests from war-torn countries coming in, and they're really appreciative of everything they get. I greet each and every guest with a smile and no judging them. People even mention that our food bank is like going to the supermarket. Aw, that's how I feel about mine too. And yes, once in a while I need help too and appreciate everyone there. God bless you, Carolina, for sharing all the stories and for your encouraging everyone to seek help if they need it. And as you say, it's okay to ask for help, Cindy. Aw, thank you, Cindy. What a good story. That's awesome. I could feel that too, like after going to my food bank. Now I'm like, man, I want to volunteer at my food bank. So I'm talking to them and we're getting me in there to start volunteering there because I was like, man, I want to be a part of this. They do make you feel so welcome and non-judge, and I love that about it. And I know not every food bank is like that. I feel great for you that you found that. All right, now we have story number 3. This is from MJ. Hi, I wanted to share my story mostly to say that bad times can happen to anyone. My husband and I both have good paying jobs, have a nice house, nice cars, etc. It wasn't always like that. He didn't have it easy. By the age of 23, I was a mom of 4 children with a mortgage to pay, critical renovations to the house to do, and 1 income. Holy moly. We found ourselves in a difficult situation. We did not want to ask our parents for help because we did not want to worry them. One day, I found myself looking in the pantry to see what I would make in the upcoming days before my husband's payday, and I started to panic. I told my husband, screw this. I'll be back, and left the house. I made my way down to the church by bus, went to see the preachers volunteer and asked them for help. It took a minute, but they came back and said, come with me. He took me to the grocery store and gave me $60 that I could spend on anything. Mind you, this was 20 years ago. $60 stretched far. I will always remember that day, and it humbles me. I'm glad that today I can volunteer, give money to my local food bank so they can help others. No one deserves to be hungry. Don't be ashamed. Crap can hit the fan at any time. True. One day it might be your turn to help the less fortunate. Much love, MJ. P.S. Love your videos. Aw, what a good story, MJ. And that's another thing you can do. If you don't have local food banks, go to your local churches. Lots of times they know any programs or any resources that can help you guys get food. So thank you for sharing that is true as well. And even if it's a one-time thing, you know, but this is food at the food bank that normally would have gotten thrown away, you know? And sometimes you have great people like that who help with groceries. So I'm so glad that you have that experience in your life, MJ. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, now let's do story number 4. We still got time. I don't gotta wake up husband yet. All right, coffee break. Make sure you're giving me coffee emojis to remind me to drink coffee. I should name this plant. This plant doesn't have a name yet. It should be maybe coffee related for my coffee cup. That would be funny. All right, this one is from Tammy. Good morning, Carolina. I hope you and the family are doing well and enjoying your summer. We are way too much. I love watching all your videos and seeing the mischief your kiddos get into. You asked me to tell you some of the experience my husband has had while working for the food bank, so here it goes. Just to note, this is a long email. All right, let me get comfy. First of all, here in Canada, as with the US, we have an overabundance of food poor. As I stated in the past in a post on the Facebook page, from January to now, our local food bank has given out over 5,000 food boxes, which were called hampers, to clients. Unfortunately, our food bank doesn't give out meat or dairy products with the hampers, but if it is donated, it will be available as an extra. Clients are permitted to receive a hamper once a month. However, Clients may come every day and receive 5 items of extras from the front reception area. Oh, that's pretty cool. People come in and unfortunately try to take upwards to 15 to 20 items at a time. Since they want to be fair to everyone, my husband now mans the door and permits 3 people in at a time. This works for many reasons. 1, crowd control. As before, they would all rush in and try to block each other so they could grab the best items available. And 2, it allows better item control as he can see when people are trying to take more than they should. Man, that stinks that he's got to manage more, but I think that's why my food bank also had to go down to 1 week visits with a card, and they have more people on the floor too to kind of, hey, just so you know, this one does have limits to this one, you know, which is hard to do. You don't want to tell someone that they can't take food that they need, but you have to make sure that there is enough for everybody. Like, it's okay to go, but it's not okay to take more than your share. You know what I'm saying? Okay. My husband also goes to different stores in town to pick up the weekly donations. There are times when they will receive pallets of certain items like ice cream or produce. They are thankful for all the donations, but getting large amounts of things like fresh produce are always a great thing, and the clients are very grateful. People can ask for items like meat, milk, or pet supplies. If the food bank has any stock of those items, they will happily give them. The farmers in the area are always very generous and will donate fresh produce during harvest season. Yay! They have a cattle rancher who donates 2 butchered cows every fall. Wow. And a herderite colony? Herderite? Hutterite. Herderite colony. Interesting. I've never seen that word before. Herderite colony that donates processed chickens and produce throughout the year. Ooh, that's nice. Man. And this is in Canada, so I get mixed reviews of people in Canada with their food bank, so this is a good one. As an employee of the food bank, my husband is allowed to take up to 40 items a month from the stock. Nice. I feel guilty taking items, but they have been a blessing at times when our money is a little tight. With me being on a disability pension, I have MS, and his salary sometimes the middle of the month is a bit sketchy with the monthly bills coming out at that time. That's understandable. We also have a drop-in center here that is provided with food from the local food bank. They serve 3 meals a day, Monday through Saturday, and have been a blessing for low income and homeless in our city. Everyone is welcome there, and the meals are always prepared by chefs who work for the food bank. Very nice. My husband and I have volunteered there during the holidays, and it's amazing how many people show up and how grateful they are. There are times they've had to call the police because people are being rude and ignorant to the ladies in the front and refuse to leave when they're asked to, or the staff has been threatened with violence. Man, that should be uncalled for. There should no reason to be violent at a community resource, you know. Coffee break. I know Tammy wouldn't mind if I stopped to take a drink of coffee. Okay. This happens to my husband a couple of times a month at least. Wow. There are also times when the food bank starts to run out of food and will be forced to purchase it from various stores to make sure no one goes hungry. Wow, that's crazy. They do have a huge food drive every September, and our city always steps up to the plate. Last year, they got over 90 tons of food. Wow. Which may seem like a lot, but it only lasted until June of this year. They had to purchase items they were low on. Man, I know our food bank also purchases items. Like, they have one person specifically who, like, contacts companies to see if they can get items donated from them, or they'll have any money, cash donations they will take and buy, like, huge pallets of peanut butter when it's on sale. So sometimes you'll have different brands of peanut butter because it all depends on when they can find a good sale, and then they purchase like 10,000 jars of peanut butter. So yes, our food bank has to purchase some of those pantry items too. Okay, as you can imagine, December is the busiest month at the food bank, and the staff work tirelessly to make sure the demand is met. I try to do my part and will make them a hot lunch twice a week to make sure they have extra energy. Aw. Last year I made things like baked pasta with meatballs, pierogies, beef stew, shepherd's pie, meatball subs, and various homemade soups, etc. The ladies were so nice. They gave me a small gift as a thank you and a very beautiful Christmas card, which made me smile. Their small gesture really touched my heart. Well, I'm glad that they gave back to you, because you having meals like that for them is incredible. And Good for you, Tammy, for taking care of the volunteers who help take care of the community. So you deserve that Christmas card. Good for you. With my husband working for the food bank, it has opened our eyes to how very important it is to help others. In countries that are so rich with resources, there is no reason for anyone to go hungry. It is the responsibility of all of us to care for one another to ensure we have the basic needs like food. There are so many who don't know where their next meal is coming from, and it saddens me. Check with your neighbors, check with your friends and families. So many feel ashamed to ask for help. If you think your neighbor is in need, take them some items from your cupboard that you haven't used and are sitting there. Make a casserole and share it with them. It only takes a small pebble to make a ripple. That's a good line. My best to you and your loving family, and thank you for making me feel like you're a friend I've never met through your videos and lives. Aw, thank you. Hugs, Tammy. Thank you so much for sharing that, Tammy. If your husband thinks of any more stories, please be welcome to share them anytime. I love that I have a eyes behind the scenes kind of story. You know, that's really good too. Thank you, Tammy, for sharing that. Alrighty, let's move on to story number 5. This is from Veronica. Hi, Mama Baird. I would be very happy to share my experiences with you. I have been going to food pantries since I was too little to remember. I used to go with my grandma twice a month and remember those trips fondly because the volunteers were always so kind and they always had something set aside for the kids. Once I reached adulthood, I began to volunteer at them occasionally. Some of the food banks allow volunteers to pick from what is left at the end of the day. That's nice. So that was a great way to keep my grocery expenses down. I also have participated in food drives and have them deliver donated foods to them. Awesome! During the pandemic, I decided to give them a try again and found the experience to be overall a great one. Don't get me wrong, there were many times I left with 2 cans of peas and a bag of rice or the equivalent. But the bulk of my trips were incredibly rewarding and I was very grateful for the help. Jump to today, I can't exactly say I need them, but I do use them weekly. I donate $10 to the food bank I am using and only take what I know we will use. That's a good idea, which somehow is always the stuff that nobody wants. They have seriously changed our financial situation and now we don't feel as crushed by our expenses. That's good. Most of the people at the ones I go to know I'm using them like this and they don't mind. They actually are happy to see me every time. That's good. They're always happy to see me too. Once I can begin to work less than I do, I plan on volunteering again. It's such a joy when grateful people come through the line. It really is. I really hope that this is helpful to you and I appreciate your videos on this topic. Love and hugs, Veronica. Aw, thank you, Veronica, for sharing that with us. That's a good idea, just to give $10 and then just take whatever your family would use. That's a good idea because that can help the food bank get them stocked up, you know, if you have that to give. Not everybody even has $10 to give, you know. All right, this is story number 6. This is kind of a short one. Carolina. My food bank first experience was a bit different than most everyone else's. When my son started high school, he was told he had to have a certain amount of volunteer hours to graduate. One of the places to volunteer locally was the food bank. Ours was one Saturday a month at a local church parking lot. I told my son that I would volunteer with him. I could not figure out why volunteers had to be there almost 3 hours before it started. Then the semi pulled in. We had to unload it and categorize the boxes on the pallets. Boxes unpacked and products bagged and boxed with others. Things were hauled out to waiting vehicles, loaded, and they drove away. We left there after about 5 hours of work. We were given a food box for our time. I never realized what was given out and how many people it helped. We helped about 250 households that day, helping the older people put things in their cars. The thank yous he received that day put him on cloud 9. He finished his volunteer work hours and we continued to volunteer. We hit a period a year, so last year we needed assistance from the food bank. I'm so glad that we knew it was available. Thank you so much. That was from Pam. Thank you so much, Pam, for sharing that. That is a good experience that you and your son experienced that together for the first time and had like the realization of helping people. And that's something that he's had that experience so young that he's going to remember that. And that's going to shape the man he's going to become. So good for you, Mom, for doing that with him. Thank you for sharing that. That was a good story. All right, we're going to do one more. This is a shorter one too. Story number 7. Let me get my coffee. And then I have a couple more stories to read, but I do need a few more. So if you guys want me to read your story, if you have a YouTube channel where you do food bank hauls or any kind of money-saving tips or anything like that, and you have a story you want to share, leave the name of your YouTube channel and I'll send people your way. We all need help learning from each other on how to survive these hard times, you know. All right, this is from Jessica. Hi, Carolina. This is Jessica from Facebook. My handle is Love Yourself Please, and you made my white bean chicken chili recipe. Yes, it was so good. During the pandemic, we received food assistance every month, around $479. 2 months ago, that got cut to $23. What? And our rent went up $75, but I was determined to make it work. That's insane. You went from $479 to $23 a month. $23. Watching your videos reminded me that there is a local food bank and I really needed help. I'm a single mom on disability, for goodness sakes. Why should I be ashamed to ask for help sometimes? That's right. That's the attitude we like to hear. I went last Tuesday and our food bank is much like yours. You can go once a week and shop the limit. Everyone was so friendly, and when I mentioned to one of the workers that I have a preteen boy, suddenly everyone was throwing extra food in my cart. Oh, it was approaching closing and they wanted to get rid of as many perishables as possible so they didn't have to throw them out. Aww. When I got home, my son excitedly helped me empty the truck, seeing the big bags of nuts, a block of cheese, a bag of oranges, then spotted 2 large restaurant sealed bags of pulled pork and a 3-pound bag of fries they gave me. You throw those in the air fryer, they're good as new. Oh, I've also seen you could take cold fries and put them on the waffle iron and heat them back up and they're crispy. Just FYI. He was so excited because we've been having pretty basic, boring dinners and he knew we were going to have barbecue pulled pork sandwiches and fries with fruit with dinner. Aw, I'm so grateful and plan to continue going as long as I need to get by. Thank you for reminding me it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Sincerely, Jessica Cole, a subscriber for life. Aw, thank you, Jessica. What a good story. I love it when the kids also see the benefit of it and they're just as excited and grateful for it. You know, that's why I try and take my, well, I don't have a choice. I have to take my kids and try and get them into it. And there's like, oh, we're going to the food bank, and they like seeing the different stuff that they get that they don't normally get at the store, you know? So I love the stories where the parents are also experiencing it with their kids. You know, that's great. And that really is going to shape kids for life in a good way. Wow, well, those are our stories for today. Thank you so much for sharing, everybody. I think this has been a great run of stories. I have 3 more that I wasn't able to get to today, but I'm looking for a few more, so make sure you email me your stories. Thanks for coming along and sharing your experience with us. Please seek out help if you need it. I have resources listed below in the description box if you need a place to start. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time on Mama Beards.